Hey, what is going on, guys? Brandon Restro here. In today's video, man, I'm bringing you guys a brand new video, a different style of video, man. Good news coming out of Ohio. 24th state to legalize cannabis, man. It's going to be so cool to see how it plays out. You know what I'm saying? How the Michigan market's going to differentiate from the Ohio market. And like I said, it's the 24th fucking state, bro. So, like, now we're almost half the United States. We got some huge momentum going into 2024. And, it's going to be sweet, dude. So, I'm going to talk about issue 2. I'm not going to touch on issue 1 too much because, you know, I mean, I guess I can go ahead and say it here that issue 1 and issue 2 both passed confidently, passed decisively. I mean, 57 to 43. You know, we're leaning closer towards 60 to 40. So that's, you know, that's more than the majority, man. That's a good amount of people. I think on the results of the actual election, I want to say that that there was like 4 million people that casted a vote. Out of that 4 million, I think 2.8 approved of issue 1 and 2. So 2.8 million people agreeing on an issue, man, or a few issues. Like I said, it's decisive. It's it lets you know kind of where the state stands as far as, you know, the Republican lawmakers and the Ohio people. You know, it really. And then you got people like Matt Huffman, right? Like, this is fucking crazy, bro. People think Matt Huffman said specifically that we are going to have, and I quote, a mental health crisis. So he thinks that more teenagers are just going to commit suicide if legalized. I'm going to go off on a tangent that I probably shouldn't, but just to speak truth to everybody. Realistically, cannabis use, alcohol use, it's unfortunate that it's, you know, but I'm only 25. I remember when I was of age, you know what I'm saying? Cannabis, alcohol, drugs, whatever it is that you get introduced to usually happens 14 to 18. You know what I'm saying? Between 14 to 18. And the fact that now we're going to have a monitored, regulated, monetized market is fucking sweet, dude. People can go up, get their bud, get their concentrates, get their clones, get their seeds, get their carts, get their disposables, you know, get their oils. And, you know, I think that's really cool, man. I mean, 24 states in the United States obviously also think it's pretty damn cool. So we just need to cross the bridge, you know. I think once we hit 25, 26, 27, 28, you know, once we pass over half the United States, I think that's when we're going to start seeing some sort of federal legalization reform. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Because it's a plant, bro. It's cannabis. It's, you know, I know people worry about certain things. Kids getting a hold of it. I mean, you wouldn't leave your gun out on the table. Why the hell would you leave your gummies out? You wouldn't leave your alcohol out. Actually, you don't have to because it's right above the kid's yogurt in the fridge. My whole point is, you know, a lot of companies nowadays are doing pretty good at having like child-proof locks on their gummies. Or maybe that's something they can implement if they don't already. And what I mean by that is, you know, you have like a little box here and you have one of those screw tops to where it clicks in and, you know, you can't take it off unless you push in. You know, there's a certain methodology to take the cap off, and, you know, so the kid thing can be fixed rather easily. And sorry if it seems like I'm kind of out of breath, short of breath, and coughing and stuff. I'm kind of sick, and it's fucking freezing outside. It's like 33 degrees right now. So, yeah, it's cold. But where was I at, man? Yeah, so the kids thing, man, that's understandable. There's ways to, you know, improve that, to counteract that. Next up would be the driving, you know, and I can tell you right now, especially newer cannabis people, newer cannabis people aren't going to fucking smoke and think that they can hop into a wheel. Now, there's exceptions. There's people that do it, of course. But the normal person, the other 90% of people are going to say, you know what, I'm going to, dedicate 3, 4, 5 hours of this, however long I think I need to sit still to let my mind come down to an ease and to be able to drive correctly, And I think if people look at this like they do alcohol, I think if people treat it in the same mannerisms, if people respect that, this is something that can be used to really help monitor things, help modulate things, help improve things. If, that's the thing about drugs and everything is genetics play a role, is terpenes play a role, cannabinoids play a role. Everything plays a role here, man. So, your parents' usage of it before you were even conceived, there's no, I don't believe there's any scientific research on what I just said there about the parents and the genetics and stuff, but I believe, if your parents obviously smoked, or if your dad or whoever smoked, like for my sake, it's my father. He was a huge pothead back in the day. And, my whole point is with that is, the genetics, you already have that in your blood. You already have that in your bloodstream. So, I anticipate on doing some more research on that and kind of to see if that is legitimate, see if that's a real thing. Another problem that we face here, not just in the state of Ohio, kind of in the world, is even though cannabis is legal, you can still lose your job for it. You can still... Look, man, there needs to be, as far as the drug policy goes, right? And I understand why they haven't changed it, because we don't have a method to use to say, hey, this person's under the influence. To say this person's stoned or whatever. We don't have that. So I understand that part. But as states continue to legalize, we should have already been, when we got 10 states, let alone 24. We should have already had this in development. There's got to be some way to test intoxication if that's really what they're worried about. But I'm telling you now, the worst thing that's going to happen with a pothead on the road is they're going to get stopped at a fucking stoplight and wait for it to turn green. Or a stop sign, rather. Stop sign and wait for it to turn green. Especially a new, the more experience you get with it, man, it's almost like a cup of coffee. Especially if you're smoking some good shit, man. People get it so misconstrued, if it's good, bud, you're supposed to be into couch or, slumped and shit. That's not it, bro. That's not it for me. Me, man, I get energy off this shit. It's like a caffeine boost. It really is. It's funny how that works, but it really is. It gives me that caffeine, that extra pick-me-up. And, yeah. Anyways, back to topic, man. I think, as far as jobs go, treat it the same way. It's not fair to have something legal in your state, and then all these states are worried about workforce. And I don't know about you guys, but my job's always short on people. We're always fucking short on people. Nobody wants to work. And perhaps it's not that nobody wants to work. Maybe it's just nobody wants to work for what people are trying to pay nowadays, which I understand too, because it's like, man, we're in a fucked up year already. And now you got politicians in Ohio, or lawmakers rather, that are trying to do this and do that to this law. And what they really should do is implement, something with workforce. You should not be, look, I understand the whole, you can't quit 2 to 3 months or whatever to pass a drug test. Listen, I get that completely. Say I do that and I pass the drug test, right? Boom, I get a random 6 months in, 7 months in, a year in that I'd never expect to come, and boom, you're fired. Whole career, whole job done. And of course there's exceptions, man. I don't think a CDL driver should be driving. I don't think should be smoking. I don't think a doctor should be smoking. I don't think, a healthcare professional should be, a financial advisor should be smoking. But at the same time, man, if they're doing it and it doesn't affect their work, why does it matter, man? You know what I'm saying? Why does it fucking matter? All these stupid rules in place, and bro, especially if you're in one of those fields I just named, you're not going to come to work. Yeah, let me go to work stone being a fucking doctor doing a surgery. Let me go to work stone driving a fucking 50,000 pound fucking semi truck in the winter. I mean, come on, man. Who? These lawmakers, right? They have all this money, all this extra time on their hands. They do this shit daily, but they're not thinking about these type of situations, man. I mean, it's crazy, bro. And another thing is with these lawmakers, these politicians, they have never tried this, and let alone if they did try it, they haven't tried it long enough to where, because obviously your first time you try it compared to a year in is way different. It gets to a point where when you're smoking and shit, it feels almost like it's like I said earlier, in caffeine boost, like a motivational kind of pick me up type thing. But my whole rant is, man, is we need more workforce. What's the way I want to word it? We need more support for people that are trying to get into the workforce. We need more support for people who are using cannabis but want to still work and pursue a career of their own. We do that with alcohol. I can't tell you how many times I've had a coworker come in hungover. How many times I've had a coworker, bad. Alcohol is bad, man. Alcohol is way fucking worse than cannabis. And I'll argue with anybody in these comments. I'll argue with any politician. I'll argue with any lawmaker. It's way different, bro. And it's way worse. It's not even the same. It's not even a similar feeling. It's not even a similar effect. You can smoke all the weed you want. The next morning you wake up, you're not going to be hungover. Next morning you wake up, you're not going to be fucking vomiting and trying to get this stuff out of your system. Matter of fact, I think it's supposed to be in your system. We have an endocannabinoid system built into our actual bodies, guys. It's built in like we have a nervous system, like we have a respiratory system, like we have an immune system. It's a system in our body. And, this is just my rant for the day, man. I've been thinking about it lately because Ohio has became the 24th recreational state in the United States of America. Huge support, man. It's amazing to see how far a state like Ohio has come. I remember I've been keeping track on this since I kind of got back into smoking because I was hoping for this day for a long time. And because I don't I don't think that not only it's wrong that people can't consume marijuana, I think it's wrong that we're being told that we can't. I feel like we deserve, it's a freedom, it's a right, if you go to work every day and you're contributing to this country, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do without the government control, without the government even looking at you, knowing your name. It's all just so fucked up, man. And it all needs some tweaks and it needs some better improvements. And, states like Ohio and states like Michigan, states like all these other places, they're worried about workforce. Well, how about there's certain ways to test. Bro, if it's somebody that really can't handle it and they come into work, you're going to know that motherfucker's on something. You're going to know that motherfucker's doing something. Me, I could go to work whenever I want to and nobody's going to give a fuck. Nobody's going to know. I'm productive, man. That's like I keep trying to reiterate. This is not no alcohol. This is not no salvia. This shit's not going to take you fucking out of the game, man. This shit's going to put you in the game. This shit gives me caffeine. This shit gets me fired up, bro. This shit gets me wanting to work. It's fucking, bro. What time we got? Hold up. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's 5:55 in the morning. I'm out here fucking making a video, man. So, with all this being said, man, I want to know you guys' opinions on issue 2 down below. Huge support from Ohioans. I want to thank everybody for coming out, man. Thank you to Matthew Cooper, man. Thank you, Billy Blaze. There's a few other people. Joni's one of them. I want to thank everybody that I saw in the community supporting Ohio legalization. This is a huge moment, man. Come December the 7th, or not December the 7th, but probably actually closer towards September of next year, because that's when we're going to get recreational dispensaries. I will be doing a lot more filming, guys, a lot more videos, whether it be smoking videos, whether it be dispensary videos, like me going and just doing interviews with people and, stuff like that, because this stuff intrigues me. This is a growing business, man, and it helps a lot of people. It helps a lot of people in more ways than you could imagine. And you know it's not a problem when I think it was something like 80% of sports athletes use it. We're talking about athletes here. We're talking about the top of the top, the very top, the very pinnacle. And, you know, so I understand it has its things. I understand it has its flaws. I understand if you have a mental health condition, a mental health disorder, maybe something that, you know, maybe a little bit of schizophrenia, maybe a little bit of, you know, whatever you have mentally, maybe perhaps you should stay away from not only cannabis, but alcohol, any type of drugs. And I'm going to leave this video. I'm going to end this video with this, guys. I would trust this any day over what's in my cupboard up over there, or what's going to be right down the road at this drugstore. There's people that die on opiates every single day, man. People get addicted to painkillers every single day, man. People get addicted to Xanax every single day, man. And it's a fucking plant, bro. It boosts you up. It might, depending on the strain, it might set your ass down. It might fucking kick you in the nuts and tell you to sit down and just chill for a little bit. That's the worst that's gonna happen, man. The absolute worst that's gonna happen, you're gonna eat out a fucking fridge, bro. I mean, come on, let's just be real. But anyways, man, that's my rant for the day. That's my TED Talk. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. If you did, drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy Brandon in the restroom, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Also, I just got MW3, so if you guys are Call of Duty fans and want to see some MW3 content, let me know down in the comment section below. Anyways, guys, it's been your boy Brandon in the restroom. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.